Hiya, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Tabby. Guys, today we went back to my childhood and I made a steamed artichoke. It is absolutely delicious. Really very easy to make too, and I give you some tips on how to pick just the right artichoke. I hope you give it a try. Let's get cooking. All right, friends, I am so excited to do this video. The other day when I made those roasted artichokes, my brain just started spinning because I really think that it's going to taste much better with a fresh artichoke. Now, I knew nothing about artichokes other than my mom used to steam them and we would dip them in the butter on the leaves. I don't remember her ever doing anything with the hearts of the artichoke, but those leaves dipped in butter and scraping that meat off of them, absolutely divine. So I've done a little research, and when I was at Meijer the other day, I bought 3 artichokes because I want to show you. There's 3 different stages here. So we've got this one. You can see that's pretty closed, pretty tightly closed. And then we have this one that is opened up slightly more. You can see that. And then the third one is quite a bit more open. So of the 3, this one is the freshest. This is the one you're looking for. I'm still going to use both of these. We can use all 3 of them, but this one is going to be the freshest. So if you're buying a fresh artichoke, you want to look for the one that's nice and tightly closed like that. So this is the one I'm going to save to use for the steaming because I want those leaves to be nice and fresh and tender. So the other thing I have found out is that when you're getting the artichoke heart, when you're cutting the artichoke to get to the heart, you're cutting about 75% of this flower. It's technically a flower, it's botanical, but you're cutting away about 75% of that to get to the heart of the artichoke. Some people don't do anything at all with the leaves. They just throw them away. They don't, steam them and enjoy the meat in the tips of them or in the base of them, but other people do. So you can do it either way. But this is what we're going to do today. So I'm going to start with the one that's the freshest, and we're going to process this one. I've got my pan right there warming up with some water with my steamer basket. Come over here and I'll show you. So you can see I've got my steamer basket in there. I've got enough water in there that it's coming up about 1.5 inches or so from the bottom of my basket, and I have salted generously the water. You want to make sure that you salt that water really well. According to everything I've read, you want that steaming water to be nice and salty. Just a little prep, just so you have a little prep. I also have a bowl here with some ice water. You want it to be nice and cold, and I'm going to take a half of a lemon and juice that and pour that into the water, because as I process the other 2 artichokes, in order to keep them from turning brown like a potato, once you cut it and the air gets to it and the skin is removed, it will start to oxidize and turn brown, and we don't want that because that doesn't look as pretty. So we're going to put some lemon in this water, and that's going to put some acidity in there, and it's going to help keep that artichoke from turning brown. I'm learning so much. Now this might be the only time in my life I ever do fresh artichokes, but at least I can say I did it and I've learned something. And that's the fun part about being in the kitchen and just doing something new. I just love being in here and being inspired with new recipes and things that I've never done before that then I can share with you, and maybe you'll be inspired too. So that's the best part. All right, so got the ice water in there. I'm just gonna give that a little stir. And we're not going to use that right now, but I just wanted to get that prepped. All right, now we're going to take a nice sharp serrated knife. It's best if it's serrated. And we're going to take this artichoke. Now the tips of these leaves are kind of prickly, so keep that in mind too. You want to be careful. But we're going to take this sharp knife and we're going to cut off just about 1 inch or so up here on the top. And that's what it looks like in the center. Now we're going to take the bottom part and just break off about the first 2 layers of leaves, and you just kind of pop and twist those leaves. So these bottom ones, you want to pop those off. Those are not going to be good leaves to eat. And then you can also take your shears and go around and just snip off just that little You can see this little indented little part right there. It looks like a little mountain. You just cut that right off so that it's nice and straight right across the top. And you're just removing those little spines or prickly parts off of the leaf. I also learned that if you get an artichoke and the tips of the leaves are brown, that means that they have been touched by frost, but it does not affect the flavor of the artichoke. And I've watched a lot of videos over the last couple of days. Everybody from Martha Stewart to just regular home chefs, people who own restaurants, chefs. So I've just kind of done my research, and this is what I have found and what I think is the most helpful, and so this is what we're going to do today. All right, now, so there's that. You can see, and I've cut all of those sides off so that they're all nice and flat. And then I'm going to take my knife and now, here's something else I learned. The inside of this stem, you can see that black dot right there. I'm gonna cut the tip of this off and I'll show you. Well, it's not very white, but you can see there's another center part to that stem, and that is edible. So if you wanted to, you could cut that stem and use that. You can see here it's a little bit better, a little bit easier to see. See how that's white? So that little white center part is edible. All right, so I have my artichoke. It's flat now on the bottom. You can see that, there's the bottom. So now all we're gonna do is take this over here to our pan. I'm just gonna set it right down like that. You want the stem side up, and we're gonna cover this up. My water's not quite boiling yet, so once it starts to boil, then I will set my timer, and it's gonna take about 25 or 30 minutes. And when I take the lid off after 25 or 30 minutes, we'll use a knife. And to see if it's done, you're gonna poke that knife right down in the center, and it should, because right now it's very, very hard. So when you poke the knife down in the center, it should be very soft. And then you know that it's done. And then we will melt some butter and we will peel those leaves back, and we'll enjoy some artichoke like I used to when I was little. And I'm so excited about it. I think I might put a little bit of minced garlic in my melted butter and make it a little bit of a garlic butter. I think that'll be really tasty. So I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to cut these up now and roast the hearts. And I'm gonna see if they taste any better than they did when I made them the other day. I think these are gonna taste better, but we'll see. So let me get my little mess cleaned up here, and then we'll get started. I'll be right back. All right, let's get started on these. So I'm going to cut off that about 1 inch off of the top, just like we did on the other one. Okay, so there's the top. And now I'm going to go around and pull off these bottom, couple layers off the bottom. Pull off these leaves. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go around with my scissors and snip off those little pointed, prickly parts on the tops of those leaves that are remaining. If my mom went to this much work when I was growing up, this is probably why we didn't have them very often. Because this is some work to get this prepped. I'm gonna cut the end off of this stem. We'll see how it looks. Still looks pretty green. I don't think these stems, you know, we don't live in California, so, or somewhere where they grow our artichokes, wherever artichokes grow. So I don't think that the stem is really gonna be that edible for us. That's a little bit more pronounced. You can see that little white area in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut this off and see if we can make that work. Let's see. So we're just slicing right down like that, and then it just pops off just like that. So I'm gonna do it one more time here so you can see. And then just pop it off. Okay, Now I'm going to take my knife and go around and just start cutting off those little green pieces that are on there. And, oh, there goes the stem. That's all right. We're just going to go ahead and take it off. So I think you can see there, I'm just going to go right around this edge and cut that off. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and pull these leaves off. And you can see on the leaf, see that little white thick area right there? That's the meaty part that you would scrape off, dip it in the melted butter, and then scrape that off. There's another one there. See, that's got some meat on it. So we're just gonna go around and just cut that off. That's gonna get those leaves off of there. My water is starting to boil over here. So I'm gonna turn it down to 5, so it's on medium, and I'm gonna set my timer for 30 minutes. And we'll let that go for 30 minutes, and we'll see how it goes. I'm so glad you guys are here doing this with me, so we can see how it goes. All right, so all of these leaves are coming off. So you can see we're just getting all these leaves off. And I'm gonna go around and clean this off just a little bit more, is what they said to do. It smells really good. We're almost to the center. Now you can see, I'll show you. You can see these fibrous pieces. That's called the choke, and that is not edible. So you want to make sure and get that out. So we're going to use our knife. Actually, I'm going to try a spoon. They said to use a spoon. I'm going to try a spoon. We'll see if that works. And you just kind of get all of that out of there. Let's see. So you can see what that looks like. It's just very fibrous, like little corn silk hairs almost. And it's prickly. It is also prickly. I'm gonna go for the knife because my spoon was not doing it. Well, guys, we're learning together. I've never done this before. This is my first rodeo, but this is what that's what I've come up with, which looks pretty much like the guy that I watched do it. Because then he stuffed his. He made a filling and stuffed them and roasted them and stuffed them. But that is a very small artichoke heart. That is not very big. And look at all of that. Look at all of that. I'm surprised they don't cost $100 each. That's quite the delicacy, as much time and effort and work as it takes to get it to that point. All right, now they also said you should take a lemon and squeeze a little lemon juice on it, and that would help keep it from turning brown. So I'm gonna squeeze the little bit of lemon juice on there, but I'm also gonna drop it down in this bowl of icy lemon water. All right, let's go for number 2. I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up first, hang on. All right, number 2, here we go. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably the only time I'm ever gonna do this. I'm not sure, as my husband would say, that the juice is worth the squeeze. when I can just go buy them already canned, the artichoke hearts. They're gonna have to taste 100 times better for me to go through this much work to cut this open. But hey, now you guys know. So I'm popping these outside leaves off. First couple layers. Now I would do that again. I will definitely buy some fresh ones to steam. I think that would be, that's worth the effort. That wasn't too bad. But doing this to get to the heart, I don't think it's worth it. But you know, you don't know until you try, right? All right, let's cut the top of this off. And we're gonna go around and snip those leaves. And again, the inside of that stem is very green. I don't think that stem is edible, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. And then I'm gonna take my knife and just go around the edge here. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze a little lemon on this, on that bottom part there, to keep it white. I'm gonna rinse this one real quick, hang on. Put some lemon juice on there. And I'm gonna drop it down in my lemon ice water. Let me get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Let's see how it goes. So I've got 2 artichoke hearts here. So I'm gonna lay them down like this. And I'm gonna just pat them dry a little bit. And I'm gonna drizzle, I've just got some parchment paper underneath my baking rack and then set that inside my baking sheet. So I'm just gonna drizzle a little olive oil on top of them. And on the other side, get those coated nicely. And then I'm gonna do some of my lemon juice and some of my BT Lee's seasoning. And some of the nutritional yeast. Put a nice coating of that on there. Okay, that's what they look like. We're gonna put them in a 400-degree oven. Top rack. So we've got those in. My steamed artichoke has about 12 minutes left on it. So we're gonna let it go for those 12 minutes and then I'll probably reset my timer for another 15 and let those, because when we did the canned artichokes, it took about 30 minutes and then I broiled them for a couple of minutes under the broiler on low. So I'm kind of thinking that's gonna be about the same with them being fresh like this. So we'll see. I'll let you know exactly how long it takes and if I need to broil them this time as well. And we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. Hang tight. All right, timer went off. Let's take a look and see if it looks like it's done. So I'm gonna pull my lid off. Take my knife. Oh yeah, that's very soft. All the way down into the center. Back you up just a little bit here. I've melted my butter. I'm gonna use my knife and just kind of pull those leaves down a little bit to help encourage it to cool off a little bit. I can tell you already it smells exactly like it did when I was a little kid, when my mom would make this. Boy, it really is bringing back a lot of memories of my kitchen, sitting around the kitchen table with a little bowl of melted butter. Goodness, you guys. That's what it's all about. It is what it is all about. Woo! I'm so excited. I'm gonna pull this off. So there's the leaf, and you can see that white part right there is what we're going after. So we're just gonna dip it right down into the butter. And I've not done anything to this yet. This is just plain salted butter. And then you just go, Oh my gosh, that's so good. Let's do one more. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic in here and see. I'm gonna have to call my mom. And I'm gonna have to thank her for all the work she put into making artichoke for us. All right, I'm gonna put just a little bit of garlic in this butter. Let's try it in the garlic butter. Oh my gosh, you guys. That was a good one. That one was meaty. I hope you guys give this a try. I will definitely be doing this again. But cutting into it and getting to the heart, probably not. But this, I will definitely do this again. That is absolutely delicious. I hope you guys give it a try. I really do. And let me know when you do. I think you're gonna have some fun with it. This was pretty easy. Cutting off the end, tear off a few of those outside edges, cut off the tip, and you're ready to go. Stick it in that pan for, it took exactly 30 minutes. And that was really very easy. And that's a really good little appetizer or treat, snack. Put it on the side of your meal at dinner. Dip that in some butter with a good steak. Oh, that would be so, so good. In my case, grilled chicken, but it would be good with the steak too. All right, guys, I hope you give it a try. If you do, make sure you post a picture and let me know so that I can see it. You can tag me in the picture and so that I can see it and I can share it with everybody. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, make sure that you like and comment. Make sure you share it with your friends. Spreading it around like some good butter helps me, that good garlic butter. It helps me, but it also helps others see how fun it is. Just get in the kitchen and do something different. Do something you've never done before and just have some fun. Make a memory. Maybe relive a memory from when you were little. Remember on YouTube to click the subscribe button and the notification bell all. And also underneath the video, if you click more, it will open up the full description and there will be a link there to print the recipe. You will find that on my website at inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. Guys, I sure do love you. Remember, Christ is the unseen guest at every dinner table, the silent listener at every conversation. So just make sure those words coming out of your mouth are pure and sweet like honey, that you're lifting each other up, shining your light bright, because that's what we're called to do. God loves you so, so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Okay, I've just taken these out of the oven. So those are the 2 artichoke hearts that we cut open and got down to and roasted, and I think they look really, really good. I'm gonna bring you a little bit closer so you can see. They smell really good too, so let's give them a taste. All right, I got it ready. I've got my melted butter here, so I'm gonna dip it in that melted butter. A little bit of garlic butter. That makes everything better. It looks really good though. Roasted really nice. Oh my gosh, you guys. That's like 10 times better than the canned. Oh my word. I'm gonna finish this one, but I'm gonna be nice and save the other one for Dale because I think he's gonna like it. Oh my gosh, that is so good. All right, I'm gonna take this other bite. So the biggest difference I can tell between this and the canned canned ones, because they're in that brine, you know, they're soaked in the brine to can them, they have a little bit of that flavor. You don't get that with this. So there's no tangy, briny flavor at all with this. It's just a natural, flavorful artichoke. That BT Lee's something for everything, and the nutritional yeast on top, that little bit of lemon juice and olive oil. Guys, it's delicious. If you only ever do it one time in your life, I encourage you to do it at least once. Put the effort in, put the work in, get yourself a good fresh artichoke and make this. It is absolutely delicious. You guys are gonna love it. Wow. All right, that's just a little addendum to the end of the artichoke video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you so much. God loves you even more than I do. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.